everybody. Welcome back to Cutting Stems, our after show for The Bachelorette. With the whole gang, everybody's here. Trent is here. We're in studio, and Trent does officially owe $15 to the jar.
Pop the top.
Pay up, broke ass.
I don't have any cash on me because it's 2023. But
we got Venmo.
I do have Venmo.
No, we need the cash.
All right, next.
There's something about putting the cash in the jar.
As a man, you should be walking around with cash.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I never need it.
I think all guys should walk around with cash. Call me sexist. I think all guys should walk around with cash.
I like to walk around with a little bit of cash.
That's so true. You know what? Forgive me. Let me take myself back. Everybody should walk around with a little bit of cash.
I could spot you that 15.
I am. I feel like I'm missing something if I don't have my emergency 20 in my bag.
It's always
an emergency 20 or emergency 40.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You take a woman out on a date, you don't have cash in your wallet?
I might have cash then, yeah.
Okay, good.
But I don't, like, on a regular day, I don't have cash on me. And I don't ever find
myself. What if you're in a bind?
But I don't.
Your credit card stops working. Well, then you would lose your cash too, but your credit card stops working.
Then let
your Apple Pay stops.
Let the Lord take me. I don't know. Just take me on. I'll step in front of a bus.
You have a sweet man on the street begging you for money.
Yep.
What? Then I'm selling my body on the street for a couple dollars.
Yep.
No, I rarely find myself in a bind, I will say. When I don't have cash, I don't ever find myself being like,
it'll happen
boy, I
today.
wish I had some cash.
Okay, well, when we're in the studio live for the finale in 2 weeks, which you will
I'll be here.
be at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
just making sure.
As well.
Yes.
August 21st.
I will be here. We have a Barstool Classic on Long Island.
Okay.
But then I'm coming in from the classic.
Perfect.
I'll be here.
Next week's the men's tell all, which we'll talk about, but nobody really cares that
Everybody
much
click
about.
your feet together out of happiness.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is they gave us such a short season, and normally the other seasons they combine like 1 hour of an episode and 1 hour of men tell all. Like they've been doing it all in one night.
Yeah.
And now I think next week is just really only men tell all before the finale. It's like a true men tell all.
So they're trying to stretch it out a little bit.
Well, they're going to stretch it out because we're going to be seeing. They're bringing out Gary.
We saw that preview for the Men Tell All, and Sean's really piping up about this being Charity's journey.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to roll my eyes at everything he says.
Do we know if he went to Paradise? For sure, right? He had to have. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Should I DM him?
I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty positive.
I mean, yeah, if he's putting on a show at the Men Tell All, I can only assume.
And I will say, I haven't agreed with one thing Braden's done, but I think he said something in the trailer, he said something along the lines of like, you were ready to marry, or like you were ready to get engaged to whoever was the Bachelorette. I was like, totally, 100%.
Oh, yeah, true.
No matter who was the Bachelorette, Sean was going to come on and be like, I'm ready to marry you.
Yeah.
This is the person.
For sure.
Definitely selling that narrative. But it was Fantasy Suites, big episode. We're all pretty locked in. I will say, I know it's tough because, and it feels this way, I think with the general public, you guys can correct me if you think differently, but the initial 9 to 11 change, I think stopped a lot of people from watching it live. Like I actually have talked to a lot of people that are like, I really like Charity season. I'm like a couple episodes behind, or like I've just been watching on Hulu or whatever, because they were like, it was on too late, so people weren't watching live. I mean, they're back to 8 o'clock now, but a majority of the season was 9 to 11. But people are, I think, invested in Charity season. This girl being the number one. I couldn't believe it. She's texting us. None of us have even watched the episode yet. She's
she's ahead of the game.
I was so disappointed. I was ready to talk so much shit, and I was texting in the group chat yesterday. I'll save it, but I was like ready, and nobody had watched yet.
No, I couldn't. I was in.
But you're locked in.
I am locked in. I have a lot to say about this episode. I thought it was a really great episode, and not what I was expecting at all to happen.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, we started off with Xavier's fantasy suite date, and oh my God,
what
is he like the biggest red flag ever? Holy shit!
Terrible.
He's like, well, what if I'm with my boys on vacation?
No, like
he's like, all right, listen. I'll be faithful to you. Well, when me and my boys go on vacation, it's a different animal.
I swear to God, I couldn't stop laughing yesterday because I was cleaning and I was watching it on my laptop, and Marty was in the living room and I was in our room like cleaning, and I was just like cracking up, and I just walked out and I was like, I can't believe what I just watched on this show. And he doesn't watch anything. And I was like, this guy just said like he cheated in his past relationship, and Charity was like looking for him to be like, no, I will never do it again. I will never do that to you. And he was like, But when I go on vacation with my boys,
It's insane.
I could not stop laughing. I was like, this guy, and I said this to you earlier. It's like any other person would be like, no, I'm never going to do that again. You know, it wasn't the right relationship. I've learned, you know, it's just not who I am, blah, blah, blah. Made a mistake.
It was a train wreck.
He could not say that he would not do it again. And honestly, I was like, this is horrible, and he seems like a shitty person.
Yeah.
But like, he's kind of being honest right now.
He
like
was.
he's like, he's showing who he is, and he's like, yeah, I might do it again.
I will say he waited a little too long until he told her that.
Right.
Like we're at Fantasy Suites now.
Yeah.
Fantasy
Agreed.
Suites.
Probably should have said this like a month
And
ago.
Charity gave him every opening in that dinner to like say the right thing. Like she was waiting she just needed one tidbit for her to hold on to be like, okay, maybe this could work. And he just didn't.
Dude.
Like there was one
Wouldn't
part
give
where she asked him like if he thinks he could like do it again or something, and he was like, I don't want to do it again.
He's like, but if my hands are tied, I'm on a boys trip.
It was like, no. What you say in that situation is, I promise I will never do this again.
He couldn't do
like
it.
Rhea is saying, like, kind of respect the honesty. He's like, let's be real. I don't want it to happen again, but could it?
He's like, I probably will. Like, I was, I couldn't believe where it was going, because any other conversation we've seen of this on the show, the person who has cheated in the past always says like, you know, that relationship, I just wasn't, you know, I made a mistake.
Right.
I will never do it again. Like, blah, blah, blah. He couldn't do it. And she was like, how have you worked on yourself or learned? And he was like, I've become a lot more introspective. And I don't even think he used the real like
I
words.
noticed two things about him. One, the first thing that I knew it was all going to go downhill is when she came out. They had to go their separate ways to put their like outfits on, their Fiji outfits on, and they brought her out on the thing. And he was like, damn, that's low key my queen right there. And I was like, low key. I was like, where's the romance in this? He just was like, that's low key my queen. And I was like, come on, dude, like be a little more.
I mean, he has felt extremely casual throughout this entire
very
process.
casual.
Yeah.
Like
There's
he's
another
like
very casual
been
moment I wanna
like
bring up later,
knocked in the
remind me.
head and woke up, and he's like, whoa, this is it. Like
but then
this is the
also
final three.
when they're having the conversation and he's talking about the cheating and he's being like, I might, and he then at the end of it,
probably gonna.
when what I think really was like the final nail in his coffin was when they were talking, and then she was clearly upset by the information she just received, clearly like triggered by it. Another thing about that is that she was in an in a like what's the word? Cheating relationship for 6 years.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, 6 years. You didn't
on and off for 6 years.
That's crazy.
A lot of
Dump his
infidelity,
ass, for real. Get rid of him. But whatever. You know, who am I to throw stones? But I think that after that, he started talking about how she wasn't giving him enough, and was almost like, oh, you know, I'm gonna need more than that. I was like, dude, you just said that you cheated before and you might do it again, but that was the nail in the coffin. Ask for more from her.
Because you know what he was really saying? He was like, I gotta see like. I gotta see if we're like gonna have sex.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's like,
fucking
I really
crazy.
think that's what, because he was like, I can't make a decision right now. He's like, you know, I think I really have to.
He said, I need to see more.
I need to see more from
and
you,
that needs to come
which,
tonight.
Which will come tonight.
How's that head though?
That's insane. That's insane.
Like he literally was like,
he's like, I don't know. It's like, maybe I won't cheat anymore if that dome good.
yeah, like he literally was like,
crazy.
and that needs to happen tonight. And
No.
and you see, I had the same exact thought. I was like, is he really saying? He like flipped the script. He was like, I'm gonna need to see more. I was like, oh my god, this man's horrible.
I was
like,
and I stopped dead in my tracks. I stopped everything I was doing to watch him because I was like, did I mishear what I just fucking heard?
I was so passionate about like how I was by Xavier. I was like, have we not seen this the whole season, that he is just like not a great guy?
Well, and if you go back and watch the one-on-ones that Charity had with Xavier, she has doubts. She's like, he's so charming, and he is like my old boyfriends. But she's like, he seems serious about it. And then when they went to the hometowns, the family was like, he's ready. Yeah. He wants an engagement. He wants to have kids. And so she had her doubts early on, and then it just came full circle at that dinner where it was chaos.
Charity had that moment where I think
she was so good in that moment too.
Everybody has that, or like every girl has had that moment before, where you like your hands cramp up and you're like, no, like this isn't gonna work. Whatever you're saying, like it hit her. She was like, oh no, like we're cutting this off right now because whatever you are saying is crazy. Like
I was proud of her for recognizing that. At first she was like, when he was like, I'm gonna need more, and she's like, okay.
She was giving him
like,
every
no, bitch,
chance to say the right things. Like they were talking in circles, and then And then she finally had to be like, okay, no.
Yep.
It was one of the more insane conversations I've seen on the show.
It really
like
was.
I
At
was
one point-
really blown away
It was
by this
awful. It
one.
was
At one point, she asked him, "Are you ready? Are you going to be faithful?" And he said, "In my heart, I 100% think so." And I was like, "All right, he's going to turn this around."
Yeah.
And then he goes, "But in my head, I don't know if I can give you that." And I was like, "This is crazy."
Oh, yeah, he's like,
It
I'm a
was-
logical guy. I'm a really logical guy, right? That was him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got-
Basically, he was saying like, if I see titties in the wilderness, it's over.
Right.
Like
If a
I
girl's
can't
dancing
control
up
myself.
on me at the club with
It
my
really
boys,
is
There's
like,
actually
no
nothing
promises.
more disgusting
crazy.
of a guy who can't control themselves and their sexual needs.
No, it's
It-
gross.
like,
It's
I-
gross
like,
to me. I feel the
figure
same.
it out.
Are you a child? Are you a horny teenager?
Yeah,
Get
like
over it.
figure
Grow
it
up.
out.
I will say it gave us the best episode in like 3 years.
No, truly, it was excellent.
Everything else,
Sorry,
like
Dobby.
I feel like the show for the last couple of years, everything that I thought was going to happen would happen. I was just like, all right, they're going to go on this date. Oh, he's a nice guy, so he's going to get the rose. Or like, oh, we have our doubts about this guy. She'll probably send him home, whatever. Tonight was completely unexpected, which is something I feel like we don't get all the time anymore.
Agreed.
So I
they
love.
drag everybody out.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I bet, and we'll talk about this later. I bet it was easy, quick for them to get rid of him when we've got Aaron, who literally took the same flight over in a disguise in the back of the plane.
Yeah, no,
Right.
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So
It was
anyway.
wild.
absolutely. And like,
Good riddance.
I was glad that she sent him home in that moment also, because he just, you can't accept what he was saying. And it really was crazy that even just explaining what the cheating was, that it was like, hey, it was multiple times
Over 5 days.
over 5 days. And then it was like, when I'm on vacay with my boys, like it's like,
But what a weird
so
fucking,
you
like,
went
what
on
a
a
really
It was so
specific thing, like,
specific.
so
I
like
was
you went
cheating for
on a
5
boys
days
so
only.
you
Like,
went
this
on a
is
boys
lies.
trip
Like, it's
and
just
met
lies.
a girl clearly,
Yep.
or multiple girls, and hooked up with all of them or one of them over the span of your vacation.
I'm dying to know where the vacation
It's like,
was.
I don't
Vegas?
know, right? It's like,
Yeah, where
you don't
was
know
this?
if
Who are
that, you
these
don't know if
women?
you
Like-
won't do that again.
It was so
Did you
specific.
pay them?
There is nothing worse than like a guy who's like, yeah, I'm going to trip with my boys. Who knows what will happen? Who's to
Fucking
say?
gross.
Like,
It's gross.
just be.
I
You
hate
don't have
that
to be
that
a
was not
weirdo.
cool.
Like I've been on a million bachelorette parties. Obviously, never once has there been ooh, is she gonna fuck somebody at the party? Like never. Like there'll always be jokes
Yeah.
like, ooh, hot guys, ooh, watch out. Never once has it been an actual serious consideration that they were gonna fuck somebody. I feel like with bachelor parties, and I just assumed this boys trip was like the same vibe as a bachelor party. Always, it's the bachelor. They try to get the bachelor to cheat, and it makes no sense to me.
Why
No
are
sense.
some guys such fucking weirdos?
It's gross. It's gross.
Not you, Trent. You're a good one.
Men.
Yeah, try.
Well, we
Men.
don't know about your extracurriculars.
You would never force somebody to cheat on their fiance.
I would not. I'm just going to plead the fifth
Yeah, I was
on
gonna
all
say,
of
have
it.
you ever gone on a bachelor party where you wanted the best?
Whoa, whoa.
Have you ever forced one of your
you
friends
I'll
to
just
cheat on
say-
their wives?
Bachelor to fuck?
I'll just say I've been on bachelor parties. Then we can move on if you want to do that.
Okay, the other
Disgusting.
the other two
Gross.
dates, the other two dates honestly went swimmingly. There hasn't been one complaint about Dot, and that's been their whole thing, is like the whole fairy tale situation.
I love them
love
together.
them
I
so
love
much.
them. They're such a fairy tale to
Especially
me.
now, I
And
love
love them.
Joey, I think Joey redeemed himself post hometowns and like also was like explained himself very well in a way that Charity could understand, and they got back on track. The craziest thing to me for both of these, right, is like it used to be the biggest thing ever. Now it's just you tell them all you love them, and that's just how it goes.
Not
Right.
only that, she says she's fully in love
Right,
with
yes.
both of them.
Like, and it
Ben
wasn't even a
Higgins- Ben Higgins
hesitation.
was
Like
dragged through the
multiple
coals
I love
for
you
liking for loving two.
love
women
you,
at
love
once.
you, love you, love you. Oh, love you too, love you. Like so many.
So casual.
Usually it's I'm falling in love with 2 or 3 of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Charity is fully in love with 2 of them, which seems crazy.
I just don't buy that. I think you can
I actually don't either.
I think you like,
Yeah.
I love all of you, I love Coors Light. I love this couch. Like, you can love a lot of things, but like, in love,
It's a whole nother thing.
In
It makes me
love.
think that she's never been in love. That's what makes me think. Because it's like, if you can love, because you can love, you can have feelings for multiple people at one time, but
You
if
can
you're, like,
care
fucking
about
obsessed, like you're in
people. Yeah.
love with one person, then yes, you have fun with another person, but you're still kind of thinking about the person that you're like in love with. But how about Joey? the first second he got, and he won me right back over immediately with this, threw his Uncle Joe under the bus in 2 seconds flat. And I said, yes, good. He was like, he showed up. I didn't expect him to be there. Like he was like, yeah, it was a little much, a little weird. I loved that.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that he acknowledged that it was fucking weird.
I wasn't here for when you guys talked about that last episode, Hometowns. That uncle was a weird guy.
Weird as fuck. Oh, we talked shit about him for the whole episode.
Okay, good. Because he was like
him.
he's one of those like, I'm the
stem.
cool uncle.
Yeah, sure.
I'm wise. I know everything about Joey. Like, it was like, dude,
He said he was
just
overstepping his
relax.
bounds. Wait. Also something we didn't talk about, and we talked about this in the chat, I think. Joey's dad was there, and I guess, I didn't know this, and I must have missed this at some point. Joey's dad is gay, and came out as gay, is no longer with his mother, blah, 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 whole thing. So, but they didn't, maybe they mentioned, I don't even know when they mentioned that.
I think Joey told Charity on their first one-on-one date, which is an episode that we missed.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Like, I think that was the 4th of July episode.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Now that you say that, I actually do remember that moment.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think Trent was literally the only one that watched the episode.
I do
No,
remember
but I
that.
mean, I
like-
definitely didn't watch that.
Why didn't they show his dad then?
That's
like
what
we
I
just
mean.
got a
What's
load
weird
of
about that?
That
like
makes
why
me
wasn't
think
that
that was a
incorporated in the
choice.
story?
That makes me think that was a family choice.
Maybe, yeah.
They
It could be a
didn't want-
family choice.
Like they didn't want that to be the theme of the hometown.
Sure.
And maybe that's why Uncle Joe stepped in to
Which
be the
is
bad
fair,
guy.
right? Totally.
You
But
know?
then that's why, right? It makes sense totally for Uncle Joe to show up, blah, 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 whatever. But then again, like, I just hated how much Uncle Joe was acting like his dad.
Right, and I
Like,
also
he could still be his uncle, his confidant, whatever. He doesn't have, he's not replacing
And parents
his
like
dad
always
because
end
his
up
dad's
talking
gay.
about
It's
themselves,
weird.
or there's so much more parent content.
Yeah.
And Joey's parents were barely in the hometown.
Yeah, I
maybe
mean,
they
that could be a
just-
family decision. I just hope it's not an ABC decision, because if it was an ABC decision, they can have his parent, like those are his
that would be
parents.
crazy. I can't
Like,
imagine.
you know what
That
I
would be
mean?
so
I would
insane.
imagine it's a family
family.
thing.
I
I
would
hope.
Yeah.
Because
that's
people were
insane.
like calling out ABC. They were like, "Are they not?"
Right, that's what I saw. I saw people calling them out. I was like, I didn't even, I missed this entirely.
We completely missed it. We just straight up
Interesting.
didn't watch that episode.
Yeah,
Because we were
wow.
all on vacation.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. But anyway,
No, when we came back, we were like,
Yeah.
But I was
need to
happy
go back.
that Joey threw him under the bus. He's
Yeah.
back on my side, or I'm back on his side, I should say. I thought that their date, their conversations, everything was cutesy. But I won't lie. I think Dotun's running away with this, especially after this.
Me too.
Yeah, she likes Joey a lot, but I think that she is like flirty and cutesy and almost like childlike with him. Like she's like,
yeah,
I'm
I
like
think
a little
she's
girl.
going to be
Like,
afraid about the whole, they really have not had one problem.
Dotun and her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But you know
Like
what?
that
when
would
they-
scare me.
When they had their date,
But maybe they just were
which
really
was
meant to
sweet.
be together.
I loved that he said to her, he was like, yeah, like he just seems like such a chill guy. Like
Totally,
maybe he's
he
just
does.
a chill guy.
I know.
But I like that he said to her, he was like, yeah, after being here for a couple weeks, I didn't really know like what was going to be at the end of this. Like
was
I
very
asked
funny.
everybody and I was like, what are we working
Wait, can
towards?
we break that down?
Yes.
No way.
No way.
I feel
How is
I
that
don't know.
possible? How do you
anybody
sign
else?
up to go on The Bachelorette and you don't know that it ends in
Anybody
anything?
else?
You don't Google the
Well, I
show
guess,
you're about to go
honestly,
on?
though, I'm sure you Google it, but I also it's marketed as a dating show. It's not literally they don't say like Bachelorette. You get engaged. You know what I mean?
But there's
So maybe,
engagement
like,
rings on everything.
Yeah, you know,
True.
when
But I
you
just-
like
I
go
trust
like
that. I
this
trust
and you're
that.
like, I'm choosing not to look at this.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I felt about the situation with Dotun, because I'm like,
Interesting.
I love them so much together. Oh my God. Like literally
I'm
I got
blinded.
butterflies watching them together.
yeah.
But
I agree.
But
I would love
the one
to
thing
just
that's sticking
believe
out
that.
to me is like,
I would love
there's
to believe that.
no fucking
No
way
way.
he was on the show and then only 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So how does this end? There's no way you sign up for a show not knowing what the ending could possibly be.
Yeah.
And if you are, what's wrong with you? Why are you signing up for a show where you don't know the ending?
In my head, I have him as like I can't imagine he submitted himself. I'm sure like his friends or siblings, whatever.
But you don't ask
submitted
questions?
him. True, but I guess like I don't know. If you're told like, oh, you're gonna go on this dating show, it's a really popular show, The Bachelorette. It's been going on for years, and it's a dating show. I think if I knew nothing about it, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna find like a boyfriend. Like we will get together at the end, and then maybe in the future, like whatever. I guess. I don't know. And maybe I am being.
But the casting directors-
Google exists.
The casting
Google
directors ask you
exists.
questions like, "Are you ready to find marriage?"
He seems so
Are you
like offline? You know what I mean?
I
Do you
will
feel that way
agree.
about him?
Yeah, I
100%.
But I also say I have blinders on when it comes to Dotun.
I think I
like
do,
him,
yeah.
and I want to believe
Right, I'm
everything
going
that he
like
says.
this, I'm like,
right. I'm just like
100%,
everything he
I
says.
agree.
I'm with.
But I did
agree,
like that
that's just
moment.
crazy to
I
me.
liked though that he spun that moment. He like told her that whether this was all one big elaborate like line. if that was the case, then he got me. But he said like, yeah, I found this information out, and at first when I heard it, I was like, oh my god, and then I was like, oh, you know what, that'll be okay, like that'd be fine, like Charity's cool, whatever. And this was like, earlier on, so I think that it was good of him to be like, yes, I was initially like, oh shit, but then realized it was you, and now I'm not worried about it. Which again, he might have just sold me that love story, but I was sold.
It.
I bought it.
I mean, they do feel smitten with each other. I also love that Charity said that she prayed with his mom on the
That was really nice.
I was like, that is
really
beautiful.
sweet.
I just feel like they like Charity and his family. I felt like had such a great connection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That it just, but like I mean, could it all be too good to be true, you know? But I am rooting for him.
Yeah, me too.
I'm rooting for them as a couple. I really love them together. I'm like, I was like smiling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At the two of them.
I did like I like Joey too though, and his
Joey just seems like send him to paradise. He'll be, you know. I
know he seems a little something about him, and I've always kind of felt that way. Like I liked him. I've always liked him.
He's a cutie pie.
I always thought
but
he meant well,
like,
and I always think he's being sincere. For
yes,
sure.
so do I.
And he's a cutie pie. I think that he wants love. He wants whatever. I think he is trying to like make this work with Charity. I don't know if it's necessary.
He gives
necessarily
me
like his forever. You know.
He gives me Tyler vibes, like Rachel's Tyler.
Yeah, no. Norris. Yeah.
Like,
yes, totally.
You know,
good guy, cute, means well.
Intentions are there.
Yep.
Like the love is there, but like, is it strong? Like, is it actually strong enough in that kind of sense? But
what about Aaron B?
Yeah, so Aaron,
go home.
Aaron
you think
comes in.
that's how you feel about it?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Well, I just like,
I was all gung ho about.
I think it was more like the
Aaron's
interaction,
family last
right?
week,
Of course, but now it's just like you missed it. The boat.
I know.
Like, she sent
the
you
whole thing was
home.
just awkward.
She's
more
on to
too,
Dotun now. Stop.
He's got a little awkward in him.
Yeah,
he's kind of the way he's a little robotic.
Yeah.
So I think that brings it on, but I think she's gonna bring him back.
I think she is too.
Definitely.
But it's like if she like, I don't know, maybe she was just so surprised. But it was kind of awkward to watch. If she immediately was like so excited, I would have been like, okay, maybe this guy's like still in the mix.
Right.
But when there's any hesitation, to me it's like, oh, it's just happening for the drama, and she has no intention of picking him. Like, I just would assume if she does keep him, that the odds of him being the one are just so slim compared to the other two.
Right.
Like, what is she going to do? Are they going to give her a fantasy suite date with him? Or are they just going to pick up right at the end? Because then he's toast.
I would have thought that, I would have thought the same, where she was like feeling weird and whatever, blah, blah, blah. I do feel like she said multiple times how happy she was to see him, how she had been thinking about it nonstop.
Yeah.
She said that. She's like, I've been thinking about it every day and whatever. And that to me, like, yes, she's surprised in the moment, and she's like,
I think that's
you're
because
surprised in the
she's
moment,
so indecisive.
I think that I would act that way too, because it's like hard to, when you're overwhelmed, it's like a little hard to show all the emotion. So it's just like, no, I'm like psyched you're here. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of how she was acting. But I also bet she was probably thinking about Joey and Dotun, who she just had lovely times with. And is she going to add another,
I kind of think that she may not actually keep him. Like, I feel like the trailer made it seem like that because he changes outfits.
Yeah,
and I feel like maybe he just changed outfits.
Maybe they just meet on the beach to talk,
Or maybe she lets him come to the rose ceremony. Maybe she could imagine she lets him come to the rose ceremony and then just sends him home twice.
Oh my God.
No, I just
that would be cool.
That'd be
that would be brutal.
That'd be mean.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like maybe they just had him change.
Yeah.
Was it definitely like he's been in Suits all season?
Yeah, no,
it's a
they
new
showed him like
outfit.
thinking on the balcony.
Yeah,
like in
it's
a
new.
suit.
They really made it seem like he was a part of the finale.
You know what though? And something that we didn't have happen this time around, she has to tell the other guys that he came back. And I wonder how they're going to react, because that always shakes shit up.
Hey guys, just want to let you know, Xavier gone, Aaron back.
Do we
Like,
think
what?
that Joey or Dotun would have such a problem with, how that always happens, where they come back and they let them come back, and there's always one or two guys who are like, fuck this, that guy gets to come back, what the hell? Do you think either of those guys would react that way?
Joey, maybe.
I think
the
Joey
same.
a little bit more. Don has no idea how the show works.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
He's
probably
like,
just
I just figured.
He'd be like, don't
wanna wear
you
a heart.
always get to bring one guy back.
That's how it goes.
Right. Like a producer would be like, oh, the Bachelorette actually gets to bring. It's like a save. You get one save
Yeah.
Dawn would be like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you get to bring one
pretty
guy.
cool.
You guys got
lie
going
about
on.
the
You
rest
get
of
to
the
bring
process.
one
Like,
guy
no, this
back.
always happens. I'll be like, okay, girl, I'll
Cool.
love you.
Yeah, no, literally.
I
You're the
think
best.
that if I was in the position of Joey and Dotun, I would go, why is she bringing him back? Does she want him? Like, I would be like, she
And
wants
then-
him
yeah,
clearly
of
if she's
course.
bringing him back.
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, just stay home, Aaron. Like, the fact that they even let him come to Fiji, why? Like, she's clearly very into Joey and Dotun.
She's in love with them.
She's in love with them.
In love.
We
Confirmed.
don't need to bring Aaron back and then have him go to the front desk and fucking fake ask where her room is, and then the front desk lady go,
that was
I can't give
terrible.
that information.
That was terrible.
Oh, please. It was so cheese. Do you think that,
that
if you
was.
were on the show, if any of us were on the show and we were voted off like this right before Fantasy Suites and had the opportunity to, they're like, listen, do you want to go back? Do you want to fly to Fiji? Because we will let you. Do you think you would?
No, because I would be like,
No.
it's embarrassing. They sent me home.
I would
now
be
I look
embarrassed,
desperate.
I think, yeah. Totally agree.
Like Charity has done such a good job this season that I really think that the producers were like, we got to do something to shake it up here
shake
at the
it, yeah.
end, you know?
I think there's a line between it. I don't know how to explain this, but like, all right, you watch a romantic comedy
romance
film,
and desperation.
right? Like there's like a rom-com where
Yeah, right.
one person ends something with the other, but they actually don't want to. You see that play out, and then the other person has to beg for them to get back together. Fine, because you can see the other person clearly wanted to be with that person. They're just ending it for whatever reason. And then there's real life where like when somebody ends something with you, they probably just want to break up with you, and then when the other person's begging like to be with you, there's a line between, like you said, romantic and desperation, because most of the time, sometimes people will get back because they feel bad because you're like begging them.
Guilt.
Or just like no, then they're like, no, I don't want to be with you. I broke up with you for a reason.
But I guess if you gave Charity a redo at the last rose ceremony, knowing what she knows now, she would have kept Aaron and sent Xavier home.
right,
Facts.
but the thing is, she didn't know, so you can't redo it.
But if you
And
look
that's
at it
just
that way,
and that's just
But
because
it's-
she has to
no,
keep
but
three.
I'm saying,
And just because she has to keep three.
but I'm saying you're in a position where
Aaron's
you have,
gone and Xavier's gone.
where you have no, I know, but you're in a position where you have to send someone home, and she's like, oh, I have my doubts about Aaron, so I'm going to keep Xavier. But I think it means something that if with what she knows now, she would have kept Aaron, so he would have been there anyway.
Right, but then still, I think Aaron is at the bottom of the three. Like I think even with
No, you're
Joey and
right.
Dotun
Yeah,
and
even-
Aaron,
even if she
she's
got rid of
still not.
Xavier,
She's
then
still
he
having
was still
doubts.
next man up
Like
to go.
Xavier being a weirdo cheater guy doesn't make her doubts with Aaron go up because she still has Joey and Dotun.
But she got extra time with Xavier that she would have liked to have had with Aaron.
True. So what you're saying is like if he's in Fiji now, it would make sense for her to have a date with him to really confirm that yes, they should have been, or he would be the next one to go, or even if he had come on this trip, he would have been the next one to go. Like what if he shows up and she has a date with him and it ends up being better than her date with Joey? And
Right.
his family
like
was
you're
great.
saying, like if they actually had that time together that
Yeah.
Aaron had been wanting.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
This is also why I feel like
Could be, but
this
I
is
don't
also
know.
why I feel like he just kind of might be sent home because it's Men Tell All next week, and it's just that, and then we'll have the 3-hour finale as always.
Right.
To me, if she gave him another chance, and they like had another date, or like if she gives him another chance and they don't have another date, it just feels pointless. Because it's like, okay, now she's going to go into her final dates with all of them, but one is so clearly behind. I don't know. We'll see. But for that 2 hours, I feel like it's always so much more on the proposal that it's going to be like, oh, a little half-hour blip.
I bet
Yeah,
they
yeah.
wrap up the Aaron stuff during the mental all next week.
They can't.
Oh
Why?
no, they're not.
Because
Gonna,
there's no episode.
It's not.
There's not a bit of
Right,
There's
episode.
not a
gonna
bit
show-
of new charity stuff. It's just Men Tell All.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they like.
That's
like,
what I said. They mixed it in.
like,
but they,
intersperse
I
They're
don't
not
think they're
doing
doing
that.
it.
No.
I don't think so. Because
I still feel like
Jesse
they might.
Palmer said next week the men are Tell All.
Yeah, yeah.
And it
yeah.
looks like
And then
Xavier
he's like,
says
and then
something
in 2
crazy.
weeks-
And then he
but
said
all
in
those
2
previews-
weeks,
right? All those
the finale.
previews for
Yeah.
2 weeks from now is when he's wearing the suit.
Gotcha.
And, blah, blah,
Okay.
blah.
All I know is it looks like next week Xavier says something nuts at the
I
Men
know,
Tell
and I
All,
can't
and I'm
wait.
dying.
When he
to
storms
know.
off the stage, oh, dying.
Imagine
to
he's
see
like,
it.
listen, I couldn't even control myself. I hooked up with a producer during your season.
Right.
yeah, listen, I gotta go.
He could say anything. That I mean, as obviously it's a shitty
I
situation.
think Charity's just going to grill him and he's going to not know what to do and get up.
Yeah.
It's a shitty situation for Charity, obviously, because she brought him so far
Yeah.
to the final 3, and then he was like,
Right.
he acted crazy at that dinner.
Undercover scumbag.
But
yeah.
it's incredible television.
I will say also super underrated scumbag move to know that Charity's like biggest thing is cheating because she's been very open about that, and to save that little tidbit
I know.
till right before the fantasy
so
suite.
nuts.
I bet his ex was watching like, damn
He's like,
straight
by
you
the way,
said
I
it.
got it.
Yep.
Like,
Right, he probably didn't want to have to say it, and then he got so far, he was like, shit, I'm going to have to say
She's
it.
gonna find this out eventually.
Or else
Yeah.
it's going to be on Us Weekly. And
Exactly.
Right.
Right, because the ex will
Xavier's
come
ex
forward.
The
speaks
ex
up.
will always come forward. I almost wish
Exactly.
it played out like that. I would love the ex to come forward, but then I wouldn't want Charity to get hurt
Right.
like that.
I mean, it's like, the Jed, like Jed situation like that. Somebody's talking in the
I
background.
mean, I can't believe Jed just had like a full girlfriend. Like that really flies
Holy
under the
shit, I
radar.
know.
That
We never talk
Jed
about it anymore.
Had a whole girlfriend.
Where's he
but
been?
like,
What's
did
he
he
up
have
to?
a girlfriend, or did he have a girlfriend that he broke up with to go on the show?
Well, that's always the
think
line.
That was always
never
like
know.
been the question.
She claims that he was like, I'm just going on this show to like get famous. Remember? And
for his music,
right.
right.
And I'm not gonna like fall in love or go far or anything. And she was like, all right, babe, like have fun. Like I
Yeah,
trust
see
you.
you when you get back.
And then he like
He won.
It's like not funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny, but
And
like,
last week
it's
from him, he
incredible.
made a dog food jingle. Do you guys remember
Did
that?
he? Yeah.
He made like a
Was it catchy?
I think it was.
The
him.
last
I remember.
time we heard from him, we didn't.
True. He was supposed to speak and then he didn't.
Jed
Talk.
talks.
Sorry, he was supposed to talk and then he
Yeah.
didn't.
We
We thought he was gonna talk.
The
and
most
then they took his
anticipated
voice
podcast
away.
of all time.
That never
All
came.
time.
Well, I think he did put the podcast out.
Did he?
Oh, I mean, I would have known. We
I'm pretty sure the podcast exists. It's just like
We gotta find
he was not able to like really share his
Oh.
first episode. I think that he recorded and then like wasn't allowed to because
It was like, all right, I don't
I
care
think he
past
got.
that. I
I
just
think
want to hear the drama.
ABC shut it down.
Right.
Powerful.
Yeah. Okay, let's cut some stems. Let's give out some roses. Let's crack open
Oh,
a
thank
nice
God, I've been waiting.
Coors Light. They've been waiting here. They are nice and cold and will condensation here
Wow. Super blue.
so that you can see the blue. We're nice and chilled, ready to go.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Got it.
Oh,
What are these? Oh, those are the earrings.
Those were
those were Trent's earrings. Yeah, but they're not gonna stick on your
They're
face. I
not.
don't think.
They're not.
Joey gave me those.
Clip-ons.
Joey actually gave me 3 pairs of
I saw them on the
humongous
desk.
earrings.
Yeah.
God, those
You gotta
look like
wear
they
'em.
would really hurt. Okay, everybody. What are we
Stems and
thinking?
roses.
Yeah.
Stems
shit.
and roses.
Who wants to go first?
Ooh. I'll go first.
This is crisp.
I feel like I always go first,
is.
but whatever.
You know what you want.
All right, I am going to. It's like one of those things where it's like I want to cut the stem of Xavier talking about his boys' night, but like I also want to give it a rose because it was
like
hilarious.
11.
Yeah.
Insane.
Like it was like one of the crazier things ever. But I'll cut it because like
Yep. Principle.
yes morals. It deserves
the
to be cut.
principle
But like
thing.
for television purposes, I was dying.
I might
laughing.
rewatch it. The dinner is insane.
Yeah, no,
it really
Those-
is.
They
Yes.
keep cutting to him, and the look on his face is just like, you know what I mean?
You know, like
Really.
it's Jerry,
He looks
a
bored and
boy's
pissed off.
vacation. Like what? What do you think?
We're in New Orleans.
I
What am
don't
supposed
want it
do?
to happen again.
But my brain
It's unreal.
can see boobies, Jerry.
I don't want to.
But again, also super honest. Just the most honest. A
All
little
right,
too late.
So I'll cut that, and then I'm gonna give my rose to. So simple this week. I'm just gonna give it to Dotun and Charity combined as a couple.
Cute. That's a good one.
Not just Dotun alone.
love that.
Them as a couple.
Yeah.
When he
We never normally do that.
when
That's a
he
great
looked
idea.
at
That's a good idea.
when he looked at Charity,
Their
and
love.
he's-
Their
and-
love story.
Yeah.
That's
When he looked at Charity, and he said, I'm in love with you," and she was like, I'm in love with you. Like she was so
really
excited.
cute. She
I was
it
like,
feels so good, and then she couldn't
yeah,
stop saying
and
it.
I
She's
was
like,
like,
I love
oh my
you.
God.
She was
I was
extremely
like,
excited
oh
when
my
Joey
God,
said it too.
they are like,
Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
I'm ignoring that. I really watching it. Like I felt the connection with her and Don.
Me too, Rhea.
More
Yeah.
than Joey. Like I really enjoy their love story.
I just feel
which
like
is
they're
crazy for me to
destined. I
say
feel like they're
because
destined to
usually
be.
I don't enjoy any love stories on this show besides Joe and Serena. So
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them.
Okay.
Oh, I ran into them on the High Line the other day. I
They're
totally
everywhere.
forgot.
I ran into them on the
I was
High
sitting
Line the
on
other day.
I did. I was walking on the High
Those are
Line.
the
And
most New York
I sat
things.
down for a second. They walked by and Joe waved in my face, and I went, "What?" You know when you like don't expect to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
And I chatted with them for a little while. Yeah, they were on their way to get ice cream, and I was doing the same. We were going to different places.
That's so
I had
nice.
alcoholic ice
They're
cream.
getting married.
There's a new bar. We all have
Well,
to go.
they're married again. They're
Right.
married.
And we
Their-
were
their
talking a little bit
wedding
about
is
the
very
wedding.
soon.
We there's a new place in this is so not even relevant, but there's a new place on Little West 12th Street. It's called it's got a funky name, but it's an ice cream bar, and it's a bar, but there's no drinks. It's all alcoholic ice cream. And it's
Does it give you a buzz or no?
unbelievable. Yes, it's like White Russian and like old fashioned, and it's they give you little pints, and you eat them, and they give you like alcoholic sauce as well. Ooh, ooh, it was a perfect treat.
Whoa!
I told them about it after. They also told me about their gelato place that they were headed to. It was great. Anyway,
do you have?
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot we're doing something. I was just telling you guys about my weekend. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna cut the stem of. We're just add to the Xavier train. That's low key my queen right there. Yeah. That was not exciting enough. She walked out on a throne carried by like 20 people. Yeah. It was an unbelievable scene, and it barely moved the needle for him. Yeah. Like he just didn't
low key my queen.
Like if I saw any of you guys or like even a guy I'm dating, like anybody coming out, I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, oh my god, this is crazy. Can you put me up there? Like,
well, you're like the biggest hype person of all time. Even in
I love
group
to get
chat,
excited.
So like
I love to get
you're
excited.
like you can't even tell if you genuinely think something's funny because you will throw a capital letter LMAO at anything.
I love an LMAO.
It's really same like a lowercase one. It's hard to decipher when you really think you got something or not when it comes to I love it, but at the same time I'm like
LMAO for me is like haha, like LMAO, like that's how I'm saying it. If I type all caps ha ha ha's, I'm crying laughing. Like that's real. That's like I'm fucking
is like I'm
or like oh my god, I'm
laughing.
really dying right now.
Yeah,
that's
same.
That's me. Yeah. Capital ha-has. LMAO is always like it's a ha-ha-ha.
Yes.
Like
got me like a little bit.
Tickle my funny bone. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are giving your rose to...
I'm giving my rose to... Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me.
I'll shut up.
I had one sip of Coors Light.
We have an interview to do right now.
That's why I'm sorry.
Sorry. Shoot, pressure. Fuck. You know what? Because we're going to give Dotun a lot of love today, I will give my rose to Joey for throwing Uncle Joe under the bus.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Trent?
I'm gonna cut the stem of
crazy question. Uncle Joe and Joey come to you, threesome. You doing it?
No. Uncle Joe can take a fucking hike. Joey though. Joey can stick around. Uncle Joe, get out of here.
I'm gonna cut the stem of the double love thing. It's I know it's a Xavier heavy stem cut episode, but the double love thing, it's just not gonna end well. Yeah. Never does, never will. So I'm gonna cut that, and then my rose. Man, when you get down to it, there's just not a ton. There's not a ton of content to give it out to.
Quick, Trent, we gotta go.
I was gonna say something about the knitting, but that just didn't end well because it was right. Was that this
was
episode?
last week.
That was last episode.
Last week. Welcome to the fucking show.
I'm sorry.
Did you watch 2 at once?
I did.
Yeah, I knew.
Watch them right back to back.
Oh my god.
But we all love the knitting as well.
You know, we liked it. So I actually gave
a rose to the knitting last week.
You were gonna cut the knitting.
No, I was gonna give a rose to it.
Oh my god. Sue me. I'm the one that's behind now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to give my rose to. I really don't.
You can think about it. I'll come back to you if you come up with something.
Yeah.
I will be cutting
the
stem of... Please do it. I don't know what you're talking about, but I will be cutting the stem of Aaron... poor Aaron having to go fake ask for Charity's room number at the front desk. That was a producer skit that did not, like, the producers did not have to make him do that.
No.
Like, that was, I honestly was so confused by that whole thing because then it was also like, who was Charity sitting out there with at the pool? Like there was 2 people with their faces blurred.
Who were they?
I thought she was like with Dotun or something.
Like did she just have like her pals there? Like who were they producers that they didn't want to see their faces? They were also in bathing suits. I don't know. Like it was just like who were those people that? And it's also like was Charity just fucking sitting by the pool? What was going on? I needed so much more information about
clearly
it.
It was downtime.
Hated that whole entrance. Really just.
I'd be pissed if someone ruined my downtime.
I just really hated that whole entrance.
I thought I was off the clock.
And I'm gonna give my
pretend
rose.
to like these people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my rose. It's tough. It is tough.
Yeah,
it is tough because it's really it's just been
choose wisely.
Tough. I'm gonna give my rose to just not even one of the guys, but just to Charity because she's done a really great job. I think she's been a great Bachelorette. Truly,
she really has.
No, she actually really has.
Like because she has. She's been excellent.
She handled that Xavier stuff well. She is, and she's being very open, clearly, like she's in love and she's sharing that. And
I'm loving this
I'm just afraid of her being a little too indecisive because in the preview, it looked like her mom was yelling at her.
Her mom's like,
deep down.
I feel like I
don't know.
Like I feel like her mom also thought they were like off camera. Like it's like a secret hidden camera. They're outside. And her mom's like, make a fucking decision.
Mom, stop yelling at me.
She's like, basically, it's like, how do you not know? Like crazy. Anything, Trent?
I'm going to give my rose to Kelly's official Taylor Swift merch that she's wearing.
Oh, nice.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yep. Speak Now Taylor's version.
Yep.
I love it.
In case you thought it was some dingy merch.
Fran thought it was bootleg off Etsy. So I just wanted to be clear that it's official merch.
Knockoff.
It's official.
I don't know about
merch.
you, but I buy a lot of merch off Etsy.
And so do
same.
I. Keep your
So
eyes
I got
peeled
your
for
Jonas
my
Brothers
Speaking
jacket.
Out tote coming soon.
Trent, I just have, you've been gone for a while, and I would like to just end with one. Do you have one final thought on your appearance this season?
Oh my God.
Well, I thought it went great. I was very
Yeah.
happy with how it came out.
You were happy with the results?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how much time you guys have, but
Not a lot.
Not a lot, but
don't have
honestly,
to.
the people need to know. It's been a while. It's like,
well, I did run into Hot Sean when I was in
Yes.
New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
When I flew in, I was in Augusta for the Masters, and I got hit up by the Bachelor people, and they were like, "Hey, can you come to New Orleans to do a luggage pull?" And I was like, "Absolutely," because I was flying home
Yeah,
the
you're
next
like,
day
"I'm right
anyway.
here."
And when I got to New Orleans, I was getting there at the very same time as the whole production. Like they were just getting there, and I followed Charity basically to the front desk to check in. And there was a problem with my room, so I was standing off to the side, and Sean came up to me. It was like, "Oh my gosh, Trent, how you doing?" And I was like, "I'm great." And he was like, "What are you doing here?" Yeah. And I was like, "I'm here for a bachelor party." And
I'm here for a boys.
Liar.
What's your
I'm here for a boys trip.
You know, one of my boys.
And it's also one of those things too, because he introduced me to somebody who he was with, like another contestant, but I don't remember who it was. Because at the time I have no idea who these people are.
Yeah.
So I definitely met somebody else. He was like, "This is my friend, who I'm
Yeah.
here with."
Damn, I wish
and
I
I
knew.
asked him
And
what
you
he
don't
was doing
remember
there,
which
and
one it was.
he was like, "I'm here for a bachelor party too." So we both lied to each
You
other.
guys want to link up?
Right, we both
Hilarious.
lied to each other while we were there, and then I spent like 3 days in New Orleans because, as you see on the episode, it doesn't end up happening.
Yeah.
So I was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and then we shot the thing that we shot. But yeah, it was quite a trip.
Yeah.
It was quite a trip.
Well, I'm glad that we still got that final result. But
too.
I will say you're now in the red on
Oh, yeah.
luggage polls, which is not good.
No, I
Yeah.
want to. I want
Like,
to
how
do
do we
one.
get you more? How do you we're going far too long without an actual luggage poll.
It's crazy.
I will say it's less organized than I originally thought. With the first time I did it, I was like, "How do they know when there's going to be a luggage pull?" And they kind of have an idea when it's going to be, but it doesn't always happen. The
Yeah.
last 2 times I've been there, they don't actually do them.
Yep.
So I would love to do another one. I'll be waiting, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
fly pretty
I'll
much
be
anywhere
waiting.
except.
Threatening.
Trent will be standing by that phone waiting for Jesse Palmer's call.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I'll fly anywhere.
Bad phone.
The luggage.
Anywhere
It's
in
great.
the continental 48, I'm good to fly. I don't want to fly to Australia and then not do one.
Right. Fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, true. That'd be crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be.
Overwhelmed.
But you would fly to Australia if it was guaranteed pull? I think I would.
That's a long
I
flight.
mean,
It's
where'd
a
you
long
go the
flight.
first
Well, you've
time?
been there, right?
I went
went
to
to Vienna.
Lima, Peru.
No, you went to Peru
Oh,
the
so
first
it was
poll.
That was the first one.
Far.
So-
No,
You've been
the
to
one where
Australia, haven't
you flew and you didn't was Vienna.
Vienna,
Yes.
Austria.
Vienna,
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was too much.
Yep, fair.
I have been to Australia. It's
Right.
a long flight.
Right.
But I'll do anywhere in the continental
You've
48.
got so many places, Trent.
We travel a lot.
You
yeah.
are
That's
world
exciting.
renowned.
I'm realizing just
Cheers
now,
to Trent.
Trent has been everywhere.
Cheers
That's
to Trent.
amazing.
Honestly, Trent, I'm really proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
This
Trent.
is a lot. You guys are throwing a lot of
No,
compliments. my
no,
way.
like you
We
are.
are.
You
We
have a
said
great.
we're proud of you about
Don't
the-
forget to
about
bring
the-
your
You-
$15
I'm just
to
saying,
next week's episode.
You have a
Yep.
great career ahead of you. You've been doing great, and we're just proud of you.
Trent,
I'm tired of ragging on you all the time. Why can't we be happy?
I'll be honest. I prefer
Young-
getting ragged
No,
on
I
the
know,
compliments.
but-
Trent just
Here's the
at the
thing.
beginning of his career.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Why can't we be happy for our friends?
We are. Hey, we are.
Great question.
Why?
We are in this room. We are.
I'm so uncomfortable. I would prefer if you make fun of me.
I actually think I'm just going to end this right now. I'm just going to wrap it up
All right.
because Rhea's starting to cry and it's going to make everything weird. So
make me
I'm
cry,
going to say,
because we should be
thank
happier
you
for
all.
our friends more often.
Cutting Stems. We'll be back for the Men Tell All next week.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you guys.
Bye.